Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Happy Friday, February the 5th. We are moving right through this year and we are moving right through Congress right now. So, as of this morning, in an all night session, the Senate has passed a stimulus budget. That does not mean that the stimulus plan has been passed and approved and signed into law, but the stimulus budget has been passed. And I'm going to give you the details on what all that means and how all that kind of takes into effect and when we should start expecting those next stimulus payments. As the first off order of business, if this is your first time coming to my channel or seeing one of my videos, I ask that you please hit that subscribe button. Please ring the bell so you can get an update each time I post a new video. And lastly, please like and share this video to help me increase the financial literacy of our globe. So let's jump right into it again, as I promised. And as I mentioned earlier, the Senate has passed the stimulus budget, which paves the way for them to go ahead and pass and get signed into law the stimulus plan. So what took place last night is the Senate got together and they voted on a budget and some other amendments and memorandums that will allow the stimulus plan to be passed just with a majority vote. It doesn't have to be a supermajority vote or anything like that. So as we all know, there is a tie in the Senate right now with Vice President Kamala Harris being the tiebreaker. So as of now, if they move forward with the stimulus vote, the Democrats do not need to persuade 10 additional Republicans to join their side in order for it to pass. It can pass with 51, meaning the 50 Democrats all vote yes, and the vice president adds in that tiebreaker. So we are at a point right now where we can move forward and pass the stimulus bill. So what's going to take place right now is that the House of Representatives, which voted on something similar earlier this week with slightly different nuances about the stimulus package itself, they're going to get back together, they're going to reconvene, and they're going to vote on something in similar tandem and similar nature that will allow them to be able to pass the stimulus package. Now, ultimately, Congress, and ultimately everyone wants to get the stimulus package signed into law by March the 14th. That is the big deadline because we know that's when the current bill is going to run out for unemployment, the extra $300 a week that everyone's receiving in unemployment. So the plans is to have this stimulus package signed into law prior to that time frame. What took place last night, or what took place this morning, I should say a few hours ago, definitely paves the way for that timeline to be realistic and paves the way for us to possibly have the stimulus bill signed into law in the next week or so. This will expedite those checks that are going out to everyone and hopefully get everyone those checks within the next 3 to 4 weeks time frame here. So I'm going to read to you some of the details here of what the stimulus plan is going to be. We do know that the Democrats and the Republicans have been going back and forth with Joe Biden, who has been open to all the conversations, and he's been siding with both sides and to come to a common medium on what the stimulus should be. As of right now, it appears that the stimulus is going to be more directed and it's going to be geared to more so the people that directly need it. So that means they're more than likely going to trim down the recipients to those that are making $50,000 and less for an individual, $100,000 and less for a couple. So as of right now, there's expected to be the $1,400 still in direct payments. The unemployment insurance is going to bump up, or that bonus is going to bump up from $300 to $400 per week, and that's going to be extended from March 14th out through the end of September. And I'm looking at my notes here. There's going to be $350 billion in additional state, local, and tribal government relief. Another $20 billion in COVID-19 vaccines denoted towards that. $50 billion for virus testing, which is something that is very important because that ties into tandem with the schools. A lot of schools that are still closed and trying to reopen are saying that they aren't able to do so because of the lack of testing and being able to test everyone for a safety standpoint. So $50 billion will be denoted towards that. $170 billion will be given directly towards the schools and higher education. just to help assist with them getting virtual needs underway and all of the PPE needs that they need in the classrooms and all the schools across this country. Lastly, there'll be a $30 billion worth of rent and utility assistance fund that will be given as well for this. So this is something that is very good, essentially. And I'm glad that, Congress and the Senate was able to work together and work through the night instead of going home and saying we're going to take a break on a weekend. But they were able to come together, work through the night, and show that they're going to support all of the American people out there and get this stimulus out. Please leave me your comments. Please leave me your thoughts. Should we have the stimulus given to more directed groups, or should it be open, as it was before, to everyone that's making $75,000 and below, $150,000 for a married couple? What are your thoughts? How's it going to work out with overall spending? As of right now, at least as of 15 minutes ago, the unemployment rate was just released for the month of January. And we're currently at 6.3% unemployment in this country, but that is with the caveat of a participation rate being slightly, higher to adjust that number. And we are at a point where there was revisions in November and revisions in December of what the actual unemployment or job gains were in both of those months. So there were downward revisions over the last 2 months. And in this month, we've only added, or I should say in January, the data was released today, we only added an additional 49,000 jobs to our labor market, which is not good. And out of those 49,000 jobs that were added to the labor market, only 6,000 of them were added from the private sector. So that means there was only 6,000 jobs added across all of our country by entrepreneurs, people that are hiring everyday workers. The crust of everything that's been hired has been government workers. It's not good when we're relying only on the government to drive employment and to drive economic stimulus, to drive our bank accounts, our paychecks, and things of that nature. So this is at a point where stimulus is needed. I mean, we're not at the healthiest point in our economy as of right now. I see some of the questions that are out there, and thank everyone for tuning in this morning. I greatly appreciate it. Again, leave your questions and comments in the video, or leave them in the description below in this video. I'll make sure to answer all of those questions as quickly as possible, and also provide you with another weekend update as to where we currently stand with the stimulus as of right now. All right, Fern Hudson just made a comment. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. $50,000 is a great starting point. There are a lot of people, and the data does show that a lot of people are receiving it above that threshold level, and those that are above that threshold level are actually taking it and putting it into savings, are investing it in the stock market, buying GameStop and different things of that nature. I won't talk about GameStop now. That's another topic. But yeah, I agree with you. There's, as much as we don't need to spend, let's cut back on any area that we can when it comes to that respect. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video at this time. I will provide you with another video with the update as to what takes place in the House of Representatives now that the tennis ball has been hit back across the net to them. Until then, if this is your first time coming to my channel, I ask that you please hit the subscribe button, please ring the bell so that you can get a notification each time I post a new video. And lastly, please like and share this video to help me increase the financial literacy of our globe. Thank you so much and have a great day.